you all say good hands play tonight.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the adjustment that Indiana's made against the respect they have for Ruben Payne and company. A lot of RPOs, a lot of quick ball out. See with the alert, run the ball, hit the ball out, and you see the cushion. You can see how quickly he is not holding on to that ball much. Now, they only have one touchdown, which is a big accomplishment for Miami compared to the first two games in the CFP where they really just dominated. But look at that, 2.1 seconds, that ball's out of his hands.
The first down run, hit behind the line, falling forward. Near the line of scrimmage is Kayline Black. Molly?
Well, Chris, Miami corner Xavier Lucas returns after missing the first half with a targeting penalty. He stayed warm by doing sprints on the sideline and told us he's going to come out in this second half with a fire and an anger. And speaking of anger, defensive coordinator Corey Heatherman gathered his defense together on the sideline before the half and said, "I don't recognize you. You're missing tackles, making unacceptable mistakes. I need you guys to be detailed, disciplined."
Mendoza looking to throw on second and 10. He'll be sacked. Dropped by Akeem Mezzador. The other elite pass rusher defensive end gets home.
Well, I was showing you the cushion and lack thereof right here. Look how tight this coverage is. That's different than what we saw in the first half where they gave up a ton of cushion. And now when you play tight like that, Mendoza, see how he wants to get the ball out of his hands, but he's got nowhere to go. Pump. He's kind of taking that extra hitch and eventually allows that pass rush that's so lethal to get home.
Yeah, that was not 2.1 seconds. That was longer than he held the ball. Now that he's going to try to run for it on third and long. And Black, did he get a face mask?
Sure looked like it.
Early in the play, he was trying to break free. Another costly penalty for Miami, apparently.
Armando Blunt looked like he got his hands up into the face mask and pulled him down.
There's penalties, and then there's really crushing penalties. Yeah. They were off the field that time.
They're conceding. They're going to punt, running the
Personal
football.
foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's 3rd and 17. First series of the second half. It's about to be a 3 and out after that sack. Indiana's just going to run and just kind of basically concede the series. And instead, a hustle play by Blunt just gets his left hand up into the face mask and pulls Black down. And it brings the 15-yard penalty and the automatic first down.
The third penalty on third down. Miami had about 50 more penalties on them this year than Indiana. And Cignetti hoped and believed that was going to be an edge today. His team playing more discipline. The first down run by Hemby, nothing there. Holly?
Well, for Fernando Mendoza to take the field on this offensive drive, the last thing he did before he got on the field was come and put this liquid chalk on his hands. I tried a little bit myself. This is actually goes on like it's wet, but in about 5 seconds it dries. It's not tacky. It doesn't get on the ball. It is not illegal, but it does give him just a little less moisture on his hands so he can help grip the ball. Do you ever have whiteout dry on your fingers? It's a little like that.
Don't touch your jacket, Holly, with that hand. That's kind of a growing trend, that liquid chalk. Mendoza rolls the ball, delivers a downfield play, and it's incomplete. Surratt was trying to fight back to the football. Ethan O'Connor was defending. So it's third and long again.
Yeah, he was looking downfield. I think he missed an open receiver with Omar Cooper. He looks downfield to Surratt. But Cooper, tight coverage with Keontae Scott. It's a good matchup. He goes down. He keeps his feet. He's wide open. You see he's a little frustrated at the end there because he knew that he was able to win that battle against Keontae Scott. That is a heck of a battle in there on the inside with those two.
Scott's a tough guy. You don't see him run over like that often.
And the third and long again.
Mendoza needs 9 here. Has time, now running out of it. His ball chases him down and makes the sack. 2 sacks on the possession, and Miami survives the personal foul and gets off the field. 8-yard loss there.
What they do is they walk up the linebacker to try to create a one-on-one. So this will occupy the guard, and now you've got a one-on-one matchup to the outside. That was Lightfoot. Evans ends up blocking nobody. So instead of being able to kick out 62 to have 2 guys on game, it's a one-on-one matchup. Good against Carter Smith, and he's able to get home.
Wait, Kirk, when that draft unfolds in Vegas, I mean, how many names did he go off the board before Ruben Payne? That's what I want to know.
I'm with you.
I know you need quarterbacks often, but you need pass rushers too. This is Tony. Malachi Tony, long kick, giving him a chance to get momentum before the coverage team arrived. 49-yard boot, but he brought it back 17 yards. To Miami's defense, still playing hard, still keeping the offense close. 10-0. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Legends aren't born, they're proven. Steve Kane gets something going. Back after this. Executive Director Richard Clark and Reese Davis, joined on the field by local Miami guys trying to support education through the power of youth sports. ESPN's Take Back Sports Initiative and the CFP's Extra Yard for Teachers have teamed up to invest over $4 million to support schools. TakeBackSports.org, place for more information. Miami with the defense coming out with a pair of sacks to step out the last Hoosier drive, takes over at the 38. Beck across the middle. Not much after the catch from Malachi Tony. Fisher was right there to drop it.
It's interesting that in this era of defense is playing a ton of nickel. They want to specialize in nickel. They want to get more speed on the field. This seeing the Indiana defense plays with three linebackers, Isaiah Jones to third, with going with Fisher and Hardy. They rarely will take him off the field. That's a big part of their versatility and ability to rush the quarterback when they use 46-4 and 21. They rarely go off the field for that 15-beat.
We'll give Tony a 5-yard gain anytime. Great job corralling number 10, not letting him get loose. Fletcher breaks free. Ball Fletcher to the front race. Miami touchdown. And just like that, Miami's bell cow back changes around this championship game.
Here's his mom that's traveled all over America over the last couple of years to follow her son's career. She went out flying, but she will drive to see him, whether it's Cal Berkeley or Glendale, Arizona, or wherever.
18,000 miles this year.
Yeah, look at her. Look at that emotion. There you go. That's my boy. I'm so fired up for her to see that.
Off the right side, opened up a nice crease for him, huh?
Yeah, the right side is what they're known for, but I'll tell you, they got a couple good blocks by the tight end, one of the receivers, C.J. Daniels. Take a look at this, Chris. You're right. Anytime they go behind that right side, you know that they feel good about what they can do. Watch 87. You're going to get a great block here, but 87, Bauman does a nice job of sustaining his block. Look at 7 as well. C.J. Daniels. These receivers from Miami do a heck of a job of blocking and allowing an 8 or 10-yard gain to go for 15, 20, or more. Just keeps that corner sharp outside, and then Fletcher does such a good job of getting downhill. So 20 yards rushing in the entire first half and 57 on that carry alone.
Longest run of Fletcher's career. Suddenly a 3-point game here in Miami.
In their love and care.
Did we invent crispy chicken?
Makes a lot.
Nah.
The emotional leader, a pillar of the program, says Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Speaking of him, he's just a guy you get done talking to him, you get fired up about football. He just loves the game, loves his teammates, has already decided to come back next year to play for the Hurricanes. So he is all in.
There's Linda.
And there's his mom after that touchdown.
Thank you for wearing a mic tonight.
Yeah. Anybody who's a parent can feel that passion, that love for their kid after a big moment. That was so cool to see and hear that.
You do a lot for your kids, but you drive 18,000 miles in a football season. And a car now, it's like a car.
I know.
10,000 alone in the CFP, Kurt.
I know. That's so impressive.
Think about that. College Station, Texas, back to Lauderdale. Dallas, back to Lauderdale. Arizona, back, and she finally gets a 12-minute drive.
Yeah. If anybody heard the cheering.
Now, the Indiana team, which has responded so well this season, want to do so again. Molly?
Well, Mark Fletcher Jr.'s day began with a text to his late father, as he does before every single game. Fletcher texted his dad at 5:45 this morning saying, "Good morning, Dad. Be with me, boss man. I love you." Mark Fletcher Sr. passed away October 2024, and his son keeps him alive in everything he does. Keeps his old cell phone just so he can text Dad before games and on hard days. You see LLBM on his iPad. That is long live Big Mark. And his dad, Mario Cristobal, says has the best seat in the house, and he sure did for that touchdown, Chris.
Beautiful start, Molly. Indiana back to work. Then they break the tackles. Still running. And out across the 40. These guys have been tough to tackle all season long, and Miami hasn't done a good job tonight.
Yeah, outside stretch play. We haven't seen a lot of those tonight from this Indiana offense, but what a great response after that touchdown. Really good blocking by Nowakowski. And then you see Omar Cooper, number 3, also working at that second level. So we saw Miami get a big gain, and now IU comes back with tight end and receiver blocking as well.
And be a quiet night, only 8 yards until that 15-yard burst. Left side, spun down after about a 4-yard gain.
National championship, it is still momentum swings back and forth. After Miami's defense got Mendoza off the field with Baines hustle play, you can just sense, even before the touchdown, momentum kind of shifted. Then the touchdown, it's a big possession for Mendoza in this IU Hoosier offense.
NBA Cannon off the right side. Picks up about 3. It'll set up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, throughout the CFP, Indiana's been in control. You go back to the regular season, the reason I think a lot of people fell in love with this Indiana team, they're battle-tested. Went to Iowa City. There's hope coming off there with Olympics, had a great first half. But they went to Iowa City, they went to Penn State, beat Ohio State in Indianapolis. They've been tested, but the last couple of games, they have not.
Bolton had a low ankle sprain against Ohio State. He's been playing through pain the last couple of playoff games. So he's not in there to anchor the middle of this D-line on 3rd and 3. Mendoza looks to throw, gets it out, and is bobbled and incomplete. Surratt had his hands on it, normally very reliable. Dropped the ball, and Indiana facing a 4th and 3 at their 47, and here comes the punting.
Yeah, really good job of seeing it with Mendoza on 3rd down. Keontae Scott brought the blitz on his left side, right over top of Surratt. He saw it. Surratt does the right thing, is sitting down, right, giving it a big target, just never quite able to hold on to the ball, and eventually Torrey knocked it away.
Had 2 chances to catch it. The punch out, I think, when Torrey made that incompletion. And Miami does get another stop. McCarthy, high boot. Tony steps up and makes a fair catch at the 11-yard line. So back to the cage, back to work, down by 3. College football playoff national championship trophy's been hanging around all week. Later tonight, one of these 2 teams will raise it as the confetti falls.
Every owl has something to
students dressed for the occasion here. Taco Bell, bringing the Live Moss Student Section of the Year complex to the CIP, providing tickets to students from both schools. Nice to get tickets from Taco Bell because that's the most expensive championship game get-in price I've ever seen. More than $4,000 for the nosebleeds here.
No doubt.
A lot more than that for the seats to get close. Miami, now just a 3-point deficit. Starts from the 12. Fletcher right back out there. They feed him. Crimson jerseys surround him for no gain.
Remember, that movement up front in that first half really affected the Miami offensive line in trying to get Mark Fletcher started. Now, he had the big carry, but they went more outside. I think they came into this game thinking, we got to go inside zone, duo, inside between the guards to be effective against this Indiana team. Teams that try to go wide often go backwards. But the outside stretch play with Fletcher ended up being a big one for a touchdown.
Offensive coaches call it junking up the front. Nick Saban thought Miami's O-line would be well equipped to handle that, but it's been a challenge tonight. The throw is too low for Tony. It will be 3rd and long.
A good job of moving him around, keeping his defense guessing. He actually had some space out there, but Carson Beck just unable off to his left, put that ball on that backside shoulder. We can make a play on it. 0 for 6 tonight on 3rd down.
Hoosier fans here in Miami on their feet. Trying to make it tough on back. Across the middle, Daniels can't come up with it. Jamari Sharp was in coverage. And the Canes go 3 and out.
Chris, they go away from Pons, try to find a matchup that they like, and they got the matchup that they do like, and Daniels going up against Sharp. It's a bang-bang play. Bill gave us the clean, like it's okay.
It's just good, though, if you can get away with it and grab the receiver's arms so you can't get it up to touch the ball. That's how they coach it.
And they do. They do. When you look at it frame by frame, it's interference. But on the field with the officials, that's a good play by the DB.
Dylan Joyce in his end zone. It's a line drive point away that Brady's going to watch bounce out of bounds. Not a great one. And Indiana's going to be set up near the 43-yard line. Kirk, the 39th annual WWE Royal Rumble. January 31st, Saudi Arabia. Cody Rhodes will be there. You can stream it exclusively on ESPN, unlimited plan, live or on demand using the app. 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the 31st. You vowed to get me to a WrestleMania one more.
We gotta go. I went last year with Ali.
Do it.
Sat in the front row, and I was mesmerized by the entertainment. I really was. We'll go this year.
Indiana for a strong defensive stop. On the 43, Mendoza pressured again, and he will go down again. Akeem Mendoza. This pass rush has become furious in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, Johnny is in right now for Khalil Benson and has been the entire second half, 72. He just goes around him again. You get caught up with Ruben Bain in that spot, but they're moving these defensive linemen around to try to create matchups that are more favorable. He almost did that frog jump almost with his left hand on the football and knocked it away from Mendoza. Lucky to hold on to that.
Very good hand strength. That looked like Isidore would be able to force that ball out. 2nd and 18. And Black powers forward and still running hard. Gets back most of the yards from the sack and sets up 3rd and 12.
Yeah, he's backs. Both of them. You don't know if one's in there or 8's in there, but they both run exactly the same. And that's why you'll see they get behind the sticks. They still get behind that offensive line. These backs just keep moving their feet, bouncing around, trying to hide from defenders. They get a shot here now on 3rd and long. Let's watch for Ruben Bain. He's going to now go back to the offense's right side. Metzador will be on the blind side.
Better believe Mendoza's thinking get the ball out quickly.
Yep.
Play clock at 5. Miami doesn't bring extra pressure this time when the ball is out. Surratt tried to make one of those back shoulder catches right in front of the Indiana bench. Losers wanted a flag on Frederic, did not get one. Boy, this has been so different since Xavier Lucas came back on the other corner.
Yeah, they're tightening up the coverage. Frederic here, watch again. Watch him, he's almost expecting that back shoulder fade. Bill, what are your thoughts on this one? He's been handsy most of the night.
Both of them, though. Both of them are grabbing on each other.
And because his head is turned to the quarterback, I feel like you guys will allow that a little bit more, right?
They're letting them play on pass situations tonight.
I got no problem with that.
Mutual combat. You taught us mutual combat the other week, right?
I didn't want to repeat that.
Tony back. He'll catch the ball to 5. Risky move. Spun down after a 2-yard return. And Miami, once again, is going to be pinned back deep. A 54-yard boot by McCarthy. Devin Boykin made the stop.
Want to talk football with a friend? Just tell Siri. Call Jesse on speakerphone.
In the third quarter, Mark Fletcher, career-long 57-yard race. Miami's defense has stepped up after halftime. But Indiana wins the Canes deep at the 7 for this possession. Midway third quarter. Not much in the Hurricanes' passing game. In fact, just 54 yards, 7 completions. Tony's been held in check. 4 receptions, all of them short. Option 1 is Mark Fletcher off the left side. Bulldozes, earns 3 yards the hard way.
We're getting deeper into this second half. The battle up front is going to be fascinating to watch. Both these teams, again, pride themselves on being the most physical team. This is where you really get tested, physically and mentally.
Some tempo from the Hurricanes. Empty backfield on second down. Back, looks left. Ooh, dangerous throw. Threw it right into the vicinity of Aiden Fisher, who got his hands on it, and Isaiah Jones was right there.
Yeah, let's watch Jones. Remember I said they don't bring in a nickel very often? Jones has to have that kind of versatility. He's playing out in space like a nickel. He blitzes the quarterback a lot. He's able to get pressure on him. This time, heck of an athletic play there to get airborne to keep that ball away from Keelan Marion.
All year long, tremendous job of preparation on this Indiana defense. They are all over team's receivers. Can see very little. Pressure for back up the middle. Gets it out. Tony's got the ball, but not enough. Wrestled down immediately by Lewis Moore. He continued to feed Tony, but nowhere to run after the catch once again.
Not at all, and I think Aiden Fisher deserves some of this credit as well. Watch him walked up, touch him, blitz. Now he drops. Now he's looking for the potential to make a play. He knows exactly who wants to be able to, where they want to get the ball, and that's to Fletcher. Great job there of just, or Tony rather, great job of just kind of anticipating that. The connected cam from AT&T shows you that they do a nice job of keeping him short of the first down.
Fisher did a good job getting it on, maybe slowing down just enough to let Moore get there. So Dylan Joyce back on. Blocked! Indiana blocks the punt and throws it for a touchdown! Isaiah Jones on the recovery!
I mean, if you're an Indiana fan, Mikhail Kamara made so many plays a year ago. Hasn't had as many as far as the stats are concerned. And now the biggest moment, the biggest stage, the veteran and the leader, one of the JMU transfers, comes around that right side, gets a hand out, and blocks this punt for this touchdown.
Blocks in back-to-back playoff games. And the fourth one this season. Mentioned earlier, that's now the 8th block in recruit Signetti since he hired Grant Kane as his special teams coach a couple of years ago. It's a weapon, they use it, and they reclaim momentum.
Just incredible if you watch this, and how happy are you for this guy, because there's so much pressure to make plays. Comes around that right side. Miami has, they got personal protectors there. 87 Bauman just kind of lets him go by. Look at 87, he's right there. Just lets him go by. I don't even think they're in an all-out effort to go get this. I just think he worked around the corner, realized he was in there, got his left hand in there to be able to knock it down. Jones jumps on top of it for the touchdown.
Mike Black, my spotter, the safety specialist, says 2.25. Kirk, that was too leisurely as he kind of rolled out to his right to get that off.
How about the field position? They were pinned deep inside their own 15-yard line. Complimentary football once again from Indiana, and the special teams get involved.
Mendoza family going crazy up there. Yeah, mom played tennis at Miami. Dad won a national championship in Miami in his freshman year in crew. But mom fell out of love with the Miami program and they didn't recruit her son. And so when they came calling for Fernando in the portal, ended up in Bloomington. Not back home. Well, upset.
Not happening. Well, we saw Indiana after the Fletcher run. We saw Indiana with the crowd back in the game for the Hurricanes. They had to respond, and they did. They moved the ball. They got in the field position that was more favorable with special teams. They blocked the punt, and now you flip it over to Miami. Now the Indiana crowd is coming alive. How are the Canes going to respond now? Down 10, 5 minutes to go in the third. Every possession counts for the Hurricanes.
You saw the shot look on Beck's face. The job just got a lot harder. Very slow developing play. Wanted to take a shot downfield. Puts it down to Fletcher instead. And Fletcher fights for 8. They just have not been able to consistently stretch the field. It's really been a problem now in all 4 of the playoff games for Miami.
Yeah, it's been, well, and again, against this defense, it's going to be tough. I mean, they take that away, theoretically, with the scheme, like just trying to keep everything in front. He missed Malachi Tony. If he would have just looked into the middle of that defense, he had him open.
Fletcher around the right end, breaks free. Fletcher still stepping out of tackles. Picks up another chunk of yards out across the 35.
How many backs do you see in college football anymore that have this build? 6'2", 230 pounds as a tailback. There's that stiff arm with the length that he has, able to keep Fisher at bay. There's another great block by Malachi Tony. Another block there by Keelan Mann, or actually C.J. Daniels, to get into that second, third level in IU defense.
He has a breather as Marty Brown comes in. They fake the pitch to him, and Beck pitches downfield, and it's incomplete. Broken up beautifully by D'Angelo Pons, who arrived in time to dislodge it from Bowman. What a game he's playing.
He's playing great. You know, he's known for stability and cover, but this time, because he's playing with zone eyes, he's able to respond and play. That looks like shoulder to shoulder to me, Bill. I don't see any contact at all.
No, he did watch up, but nothing to the head neck area. It looked like it was all over his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm so gun shy. I get so nervous when any defender makes a play on the receiver. I'm just waiting for a flag to come in. I'm glad we didn't see one there.
Worth mentioning that he's 5'9", 173. Plays with a ton of heart, always will have a chip on his shoulder, he says, because people have overlooked him because of his size, didn't have a lot of offers. One of those guys who went to JMU, again, he spotted his talent, and then makes the journey to Bloomington.
And you're talking about specifically the 2025 Indiana Hoosier team, the secret sauce of who they are. Not just the JMU guys, but you go through this lineup and you look at guys and where they transferred from Texas State, Kent State, Navy. These guys feel disrespected, and it's a collective group that plays with that big chip on their shoulder.
Miami had been on a roll on third downs the last couple of games, but not tonight. 0 for 8 as Beck tries to scramble and create on the move. Steps back, still trying to buy time. Right downfield, Daniels breaks free. C.J. Daniels waited for his quarterback to finally spot him. Played to the 35, picks up 24 yards.
What a job of working with his quarterback, C.J. Daniels. I want to try to show you where he is. He's right here, but watch this effort, because his quarterback's going everywhere. He's to the right, he comes back to the left, and then he's finally able to separate and pull away from Sharp. And how about the job there by Carson Beck identifying where to go to the ball? He saw that against Ole Miss when he looked backside and found an open receiver for a touchdown, and that's their first conversion on third down, and a big play by Beck.
Now Beck, screen, and like Joshua Trader, they put a knee down and he made the catch.
Yeah, that ball was thrown a little bit more upfield. It makes me think that because we haven't seen a ton of more, he's a true freshman, maybe he runs his route not at the right depth, so the timing and accuracy off a bit there. You can see he was expecting him to be in a different spot, so it's a little thing, but it affects the yards after the catch. That had a chance to be a big one if the timing is right.
Tony comes in motion, they pitch it to him, he has a block. Malachi Tony takes off and races down to the 12-yard line, got a block from Keelan Marion.
And I mean, we talk about this a lot. The motion's important because it's going to create the space, but there's the block by zero right there. Keelan Marion. He was a hero last week, coming up with a bunch of big catches against Ole Miss, 7 for 114 and a touchdown, and now the unselfish approach. Well, he was more fired up about that block than he did the touchdown last week with the energy that he showed after making that block. So, heck of a job, and good job of getting the ball at 10 in space.
And the first time he's been able to create yards after the catch.
5 seconds.
Fletcher back in the game. They snap it at 2. They feed Fletcher off the left side, and he plows for about 3. You're right, there was serious urgency. Suddenly the block pump, that's a lightning strike for Indiana to go back up 10. And Miami has gone to work here. Bad field position, but they moved it 72 yards.
Now it gets tough down in this red zone area. Indiana, number 1 in the country in defending and preventing touchdowns in the red zone area. What can Miami come up with here to try to get 7 instead of 3?
Miami decent, but not great in these situations this year. Fletcher breaks free. Fletcher, tough to tackle, just falls forward. He's just short of the marker at about the 3.
Chris, he had a chunk cut in the middle of that play, and right at the line of scrimmage. It was so natural.
We got a fourth quarter here. Canes threatening to Tighten this game up with 15 minutes to play. The national championship on the line here in Miami. You're watching the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. AT&T, Indiana trying to complete one of the great seasons we've ever seen in this sport, up by 10, but Miami has responded after the block punt. They've driven it 78 yards, setting up a 3rd and 1, 10th play of the drive coming up here.
Incredible job here to answer. We talked about before the drive started, how they responded after that block punt, deep in their own territory, and they so far have. To see if they convert here on this 3rd and 1.
7 offensive linemen in there. 7 O-linemen and a tight end. Fletcher walks in. Miami touchdown. What a response. Lyndon Suggs got 2 tonight.
Well, you just talked about it. 10 plays, 81 yards, response from the block punt. They used Malachi Tony on that orbit motion to kind of catch the defense's eyes. We'll show you in a second how effective that was. So instead of just trying to pound it in there for the yard, that right side opened up, and he's able to just kind of walk into the end zone with that motion. Really affected things.
Davis makes it a 3-point game. That has some things going there. The 25-yard play to Daniels was the big play of the drive.
Yeah, and then you go back to really getting back to the bread and butter. Offensive line, running game with number 4, great blocks on the perimeter. He's determined with the way he's running the football. This was you alluded to, the 36, somehow scrambling around. Head puts out by Daniels to get away from Tamari Sharp. And then you get a screen, get the screen, get it going to Malachi Tony. Picks up a beautiful block right there by Keelan Marion. Then we get to the AT&T connected cam flicker. Watch the motion coming from the left to the right. You see the 2 defenders responding. Watch 4, so he sees the motion. See a defensive back coming as well. They both go with Malachi, concerned with him potentially getting some kind of jet sweep. But instead, we got a touchdown for Fletcher.
I mean, moms everywhere. You have to appreciate the sacrifices you make for your kids, the lengths you go to just to be there for every moment in his career, and then to having a night.
The second half's been a different story for Mark Fletcher, different story for the Miami Hurricanes, different story for his mom. Everybody's happy if you're a Hurricane, but now your defense has got to go back out there again against Mendoza and the Hoosiers.
This cool, clear night in Miami. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven, legendary.
Well, I said that Miami defense has to come out here against Mendoza. They sure have had answers with tighter coverage. Xavier Lucas back after being out the first half, not able to play after the targeting call in the Ole Miss game. So he is back. It's been tighter in coverage. They've sacked Mendoza 3 of his 6 dropbacks, and they've got him off the field 3 times. This offense has been, they've played 3 times with 3 possessions.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3, so 3 pass attempts and 3 sacks. That's what's happened. We talked about Cincinnati Mission, a dramatic change, but he's responded all season long. Never flinched, been at his best when he's needed to be. This is one of those moments. Black beginning to do a better job containing the Indiana running backs. Chase Smith made that tackle.
Yeah, and I think what's happening is the interior of this Miami defensive line is just holding the point. They're not able to get up to those linebackers of Corey Heatherman. And these linebackers are clean. They're getting downhill, able to help out in that interior run game. And their whole goal as a Canes defense is win those early downs and try to get Mendoza in those obvious passing situations and get Mesidor and Bain going.
Taking down run again. Black bursting free. Just running through on tackles. First down across the 40.
I can watch this guy run the football all day. I just love his style. I love how he runs so determined, running through arm tackles. The left tackle, Carter Smith, had his best block of the night, able to sustain a very, very tough and challenging block against Justin Scott. And he had to hold it for a while with his backside to the hole, which gave Black a chance to get downhill for that first down.
Black, 24 years old, Hemby's 23, representative of the way Indiana has built this team. Very experienced, well-traveled player. A dangerous throw on the edge. Ethan O'Connor almost jumped the route in front of Cooper.
Well, he's been doing this all night. He sees cushion. He thinks it's free access. Let's take it. It's an alert. Look at the reaction, how quickly 24 drove down on that football. Almost as if he's baiting him. If I go off, he's going to think he's open. He's going to take this throw. I'm going to jump it and try to get in front of it. So good job of recognizing that, almost baiting him by Ethan O'Connor.
Still looking for his first completion after halftime with Mendoza. There it is to the edge. Cooper has some blockers. Oh, no, Cooper with his quick burst. Good help on the edge from his teammates when the gain is 19.
Miami was confused. They were trying to get enough defenders out there. You can see that they're kind of looking around, making calls. The problem is you got 3 against 2. 2 to be able to make the block, as you'd expect. Nowakowski's out there to be able to make that block. And, you know, much like we talk about on the other side, with Tony, Cooper doesn't need a whole lot of room. With those blocks, easily able to get first down yardage.
Hemby back in a tailback. Indiana trying to answer Miami's answer. Up the play fake, Mendoza will take off. Darts up into heavy traffic. Mesidor and Bain combine on this time. He picked up 1.
Gotta believe that not blocking Ruben Bain was definitely not part of the strategy here. 37 Nowakowski comes down, and it's just, you know, it's just a bust on that right side of the offensive line. I don't know if they were trying to just kind of bait Bain to maybe collapse and hit that slide route quickly to Cooper, but the play just completely blows up. Lucky to get some positive yards.
Right tackle has been a problem tonight for Indiana. They're trying to survive it. There's a second down run from Hemby. Bangs forward. Wrestled down after about 4.
It's one thing to put yourself in position to make the tackle, and then you get that energy that Black runs with, and you're just holding on for dear life. You better bring it to him. Even though he's not the tallest, but he's 211 pounds, and he's a strong guy, and he runs with that power. You got to get low, and you got to really try to meet force with force when he runs the football. Huge play here.
Need 5 on 3rd. Mendoza delivers downfield. Cooper didn't see the football. Covered by O'Connor, who's going to use one of the flag.
Oh, they should have gotten it. Ethan O'Connor. You know, Keontae Scott and Connor, they switched at the last second. In fact, Scott called for it to be a switch, and that doesn't show it as much, but I was watching it live. He grabbed onto the shoulder pad. Yeah, that's a definite hold right there.
Gonna go for it here, Kurt. 4th and 5 at the Miami 37. Gotta hurry, though. Finally huddling up. 8 on the play clock. Not organized. Obviously, Signetti spends a time out there. They made the decision to go for it. They're very much in fringe field goal range for Radisich, their regular kicker. And we'll see if they keep the offense on the field. We come back 11-28 in the 4th quarter. Range for Nico Radicic, the regular kicker. Signetti wouldn't trust him from this distance. It would be about a 54 yarder, so the offense is out there.
And at the very least, with the way penalties have been an issue at critical times for Miami, do you go hard count? You know, you're sitting here at 4th and 5. Do you go hard count, try to draw them, and then still have a play in your back pocket?
Do something of a gamble. A lot of coaches would punt Miami deep. Mendoza, ball in his hands. Sideline pitch. Becker comes back to make a catch. They've done that a million times at practice. It's been a struggle tonight. That was well executed.
And back shoulder, they do it all the time. Surratt usually makes these plays. Becker showing you he's got the ability as well against O'Connor. Timing the balls in the air. It comes back perfectly. Look at those hands by Becker. Inbounds for the big first down for Indiana.
Blazing speed. Great contested catches. Not a single drop all season. That's where you go to him on 4th and 5. Black. What a play, pitch and catch by the Heisman Trophy winner to the receiver who has come on strong after a very quiet first half of the season. Rarely involved at all in the first 7 games.
That's right, that's right. And then when Surratt had an injury, he got an opportunity. And then once he got those opportunities the last 6 games, they just not been able to take him off the field. And he is a massive weapon at 6'4", has such great length, and the fastest player on the Indiana roster, over 22 miles an hour.
Made his name on special teams. Black. In the heavy traffic, it'll set up 3rd down and medium.
They did really a good job of spreading that Miami defense out in man-to-man coverage. They knew exactly what they wanted. When you defend Indiana, there's 2 things that come out. Slot fade and the back shoulder. Those are the 2 things you know are coming. You just don't know when they're coming. You practice them all week with good eyes. And then in the most pivotal play of the game, they convert on 4th down on the back shoulder. Another really pivotal play, though, Kurt. Miami forces a field goal attempt. It's a 1-score game. Indiana punches it in. Huge. Double digits again. Mendoza across the middle, too high. Trying to find E.J. Williams. It was O'Connor in coverage, and Miami will apparently force a field goal attempt here. Yeah, in college football, when you see man-to-man and you got a corner you think you can attack, and this right now they're going after O'Connor. 24. They've gotten him a few times, could have been for a holding call, and this time, you're wondering as well, they find those matchups. They're eyeing 24 without a doubt. Oh, no, they're going to use another timeout.
Yeah, they waited a long time. I was thinking, wait a second. Is he going to go for this? What, a 4th and 7? Well, wait a second. But he decided late to run the field goal team out. There wasn't nearly enough time on the play clock to get things set up. Wouldn't that been your reaction?
Yeah.
Go for it again?
There's no way he's going to. Well, you brought it up. If they can get another touchdown, it's making a 2-possession game. It's worth thinking about. So here's some.
This is 50.
This field goal, the Fletcher touchdown. Canes are finally on the board. We had a blocked punt by Kamara. Jones jumps on. They go back up by 10. The Canes respond, cut it to 3 with another Fletcher touchdown. Now we got Indiana converting on a 4th down to keep this drive alive. And now Cignetti talking about it. Looks like he has determined that they're going to go for this. And I think what's at stake and the potential of going up by 2 possessions, maybe too much to pass up, and you, worst case, pin them inside the 15 if you don't get it.
Well, I mean, the same number, Mendoza and Radovich, the kicker, both number 15s. We're trying to figure out who do you want out there.
Cignetti made up his mind. You could tell, probably talked to the analysts and said, guys, we got a chance here to go up by 2 possessions with 9:27. I think it's worth the chance.
Miami had to get the field goal block team off to get some pass rushers back on there. Here we go. Got to get to the 8. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and go diving toward the end zone. Touchdown! That's why he won the Heisman Trophy.
What a call! What a call by Kurt Cignetti and the offensive coordinator Mike Shanahan. Quarterback draw. He definitely breaks the play and holds on to the football for a touchdown. What an individual effort, as you said, Chris, by the Heisman Trophy winner.
Very, very few design runs had not been a part of the plan. Signetti and Mike Shanahan dial it up on 4th and 5. A 4th down touchdown. Indiana back up 10.
Unreal. Follows his blockers. Drew Evans leads his way in there. Also gets behind Kalon Black. But really, it was about what Mendoza was determined to do. Back in his home city would not be denied.
This is Dad. You see his coach? Sitting a touchdown. That's way out of character.
When you grow up out here, you learn to tell facts.
Connecting changes everything. And embarked by Modelo, the mark of a fighter, and Taco Bell.
It's a 4th down touchdown. AT&T connecting Fletcher Cam.
Yeah, let's check this out. Again, you're going to get a great block here and a great block here. But watch how the safeties shoot down. Watch how they try to help out. There's good blocks. Look at this safety right here coming down. Look how this safety is late. That's Jacoby Thomas. If Jacoby Thomas pulls down the way Poiser is, then he doesn't have as much area to be able to run, eventually build up that momentum and get into the end zone. But convert to 4th and 5. They go for it on 4th and 4 on that drive alone to be able to make this a 2-possession game.
The way Mendoza paid the price, Kurt. He took a shot before he went airborne, and then he took another shot as he was in the air before landing in the end zone. Flag comes in on the return here. And now another one thrown. Going to be a hold on Miami, it looks like. Which once again will back them up with poor field position. Down 10 again, 9-11 to play.
During return, holding number 22, receiving team, 10 yards, half the distance to the goal. Still 1st down.
Here's Max Mendoza, Fernando and Alberto's younger brother. Reacting to Big Brother's touchdown.
What a moment. What a moment.
One Mendoza brother, then a whole bunch of kids with Mendoza jerseys on up there.
What an effort.
He was wobbly, by the way. You see Assembly Hall in Bloomington.
I wanted to see this shot all week.
17,000.
I mean, you think of all the hoops championships and Bobby Knight, and now here they are in Assembly Hall, sold out, watching this football team up 10 with 9-11 to go in the 4th quarter.
This is Bedlam here. The Hoosier faithful who dominate this end of the field, making it really tough on back. from the goal line. Flip short, Tony. Breaks free, Malachi Tony. Always so dangerous with the football. Elijah Hardy held on. It's a 9-yard gain.
Now this is where having a quarterback that's making his 43rd career start comes in handy. Good job not being impatient, trying to force it, just checked it down, got 8 yards.
Miami playing, obviously, with tempo down 2 scores. What an enormous call. Offense on the field. Then he sends the field goal team out, but running out of time, calls the timeout, puts the offense back on the field.
Yeah, and he was determined. And everybody's going to talk to him about that decision and whether he got it or not. I think all of us can understand the logic behind why he would go for that. And by the way, they pinned Miami inside their own 20 the last 4 possessions. Miami started their own 12, their own 7, their own 19, and now their own 8.
Penalty responsible for the poor field position on this possession. Can't afford to grind out a long drive here. That all kinds of time. Fires downfield, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Keelan Marion, who made a huge impact in the Fiesta Bowl. Hasn't done so tonight. Well covered again.
Yeah, they rushed 3, they dropped 8. You can see he's back there holding the ball forever because there's just nobody open. Everybody's covered. Finally, Marion just decides to try to work with him. You have to make eye contact with him. He actually got it in. The ball just went right through the hands of Marion, who's done a good job transferring over from BYU, more of a specialist. He wanted to come to Miami to become more of a wide receiver, a complete player, and has demonstrated that.
2 years at UConn, 2 years at BYU Cougars before landing here. 2nd and 10, Beck backpedals, launches downfield. It's Marion again, and comes back and tried to make the catch there. Only complete. Pons covered him. Weird quick, he didn't spot the ball until just the last second.
Yeah, he kind of backhands the ball, and I think he initially caught it, and then as he went to the ground, I think the ball pops out and hits the surface. Watch him backhand that, and then the ball gets loose. I looked at first when he went up, and he somehow came down with it right there, and then it came out.
With 2 chances to make plays, Haynes can't do it. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Indiana walking up pressure, trying to disguise who's coming, trying to affect the offensive line, their communication.
It works.
Yep.
It's a flinch.
False start, number 63. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's why that gutsy call on the touchdown was so huge. Now, Miami with a 3rd and 15. This of all would not want to have to punt it away, but you almost have to if you don't make the first down here, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And you wonder, he's sitting in that stance as an offensive lineman. Look where they are. The loudest part of this stadium as far as Indiana Hoosier fans.
Their home stadium. Beck has time against the light rush, and he delivers a strike. Alex Bauman, the tight end, found space and picked up 22.
Boy, he put such a nice touch on this ball, and Bauman, who worked outside off of that motion, just sat right behind the linebackers. He put it right over top of them.
But again, delivers across the middle. It's Tony. Malachi Tony splitting defenders and weaving his way deep into Hoosier territory. And just like that, with 2 plays, Miami's still in the hunt.
And I really think this tempo is affecting the communication of Indiana. This is a disciplined defense that very rarely gives you very much to work with as far as the spatial recognition there by Carson Beck. He's not used to seeing that. They've done such a good job of taking away Malachi Tony downfield with bracket coverage inside and outside. He just haven't had a lot of room to run after the catch. That time he did with this tempo.
41-yard play. Hoosiers did a great job early on containing number 10. Now he's getting loose. Back off the hands of Fletcher. That's a dangerous play. So many interceptions for Indiana. Plays just like that this season.
Yeah, every route was at about 5 yards. Nobody was downfield. And instead of just giving up on the play, he was determined to try to at least get some positive yards, try to sneak it in to Fletcher. Very crowded where he tried to throw that, again, with 8 dropping in coverage.
No turnovers tonight for either team. Miami inside of 7 minutes. essentially come away with points on this drive.
Tony in the backfield there.
He's got it on the pitch. Tony breaks free. Malachi Tony spinning, scoring! Is there a more exciting player in this sport?
This is really an outside stretch play. I mentioned he was in the backfield. This is really an outside zone run to the right with Malachi Tony. Good job by the offensive line. Just a different wrinkle with the formation. But he is so instinctive as a ball carrier. You see it when he catches the ball downfield. You see it now in the backfield as a running back.
How great, Kirk, has his second half become? We got 5 touchdowns after halftime. The last 2 teams standing in the center of the ring fight for this championship, just throwing punches and taking punches from each other. Malachi Tony makes it a 3-point game again. 6:37 left.
Gatorade has been.
Against the Hawkeyes, this was not a dominant game. He needed to step up in the fourth quarter and did. In Eugene, early in the year, needed to make plays, stepped up, did it there. We all know about what happened against Penn State. Omar Cooper with a foot down. What a drive there to culminate that comeback win. And then tonight, with a draw, 4th and 5, another fourth quarter, he's got to make a play. This is where this guy plays his best. What determination to get it into the end zone for that touchdown. And he's not done yet. He's still got 6:37 to go.
Now those 3 games on the road when he threw interceptions, responded with a touchdown pass and spectacular drives each time. And Indiana, for the first time in this playoff, is being pushed and tested, romping through their first 2 games, in charge for most of this first half. But Miami has forced this man to step up and show his mettle.
show what he can do. What a job of just each team. We keep wondering, can they answer? Can they respond? Mendoza does. Can they answer? The Miami Hurricanes respond. Carson Beck does. Indiana now working with a 3-point lead. Only had the one timeout. Canes still have all three. As we get ready for crunch time here with 6:37 to go.
Henry fights for a couple. And Indiana lean on this running game here. They grind it out the way they did pretty consistently in the first half. It's been tougher after halftime.
You know, this is a boxing match where it's not the knockout, Mike Tyson knockout punch. It's going up against a guy that's working your body. He's scoring a lot of points back and forth, and now you're in that last round. Right? Can you endure all those body blows and now fight back in the line of scrimmage at that defensive line spot?
They're up the right side. Balls forward to the 30. It'll set up 3rd and 5. Bain, they get another tackle.
But Ruben Bain, I thought that ball might bounce outside of him. He went up against Nowakowski, 37, and watch what he does to be able to hold the point. Just throws it. It's almost like he gets fed up with it. Just throws 37 off of him to make that play to set up this 3rd down. Becker, they got a lot of options. Becker is in the slot with that bunch. He's kind of at the apex there.
Cooper comes across in motion, now goes back. Mendoza rolls that way. Pitches is short. Nice play design. Cooper just enough to confuse the defense. They convert on 3rd down. Blew it to the 45 with a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised that the defense didn't respond better to Cooper. You can see there's confusion. They're trying to get on the same page. Nobody. Little yo-yo back and forth. They didn't communicate. Lucky they didn't get a penalty there out of bounds. But see, the defense, the secondary doesn't respond to this. Again, once again, 3 Indiana receivers, only 2 Miami Hurricanes out there.
Hussein was trying to get guys organized at the last minute. Secondary did not respond. Huge conversion. Cooper in motion again. They feed Black off the left side. They'll take that gain on 1st down, pick up 5.
That time they use Cooper in motion, release him right inside, right about at the left tackle. He gets up into up about that 2nd level, is able to work on that safety, give him a little bit more positive yardage. Yeah, always getting that 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2. That's when they're playing their best in this style of offense.
Nowakowski in the backfield. Black to the right of Mendoza on his 2nd down run. He's hitting the backfield. He's dropped. That time Hussein came straight downhill. It's a 2-yard loss. Sets up 3rd and 7 now.
Yeah, Hussein ended up getting through, but they also walk a safety up. Watch Hussein here, but watch the safety. Because that safety showed up and affected Pat Coote in the center. He couldn't take both of them. He ended up taking the safety and at 3:31 to be able to shoot a gap and get into the backfield.
Here we go again. Then Mendoza one more time produce on 3rd down. Clock nearing 3 minutes.
Big matchup right here.
Some confusion. With 2 on the play clock. Mendoza pitches downfield. Becker makes the catch again. In front of O'Connor. Nobody stopped that all year consistently.
And not tonight either. They keep going after 24 O'Connor, and they keep going back to that back shoulder fade. This was not his best throw, but it's a heck of an effort by Becker. That's just a fade that's bringing him back. That's not a back shoulder at all. It was designed to be. But because Becker has such good feel for this play, he's able to adjust and kind of control his body in the air and come up with that conversion.
Clock ticking at 2:21. Another 1st down run for Henry. He's got the edge. Stiff arm. Scoots out of bounds. And it's right near the marker.
Amari Cooper. He just showed you that touchdown that he made. Watch him here. He wants to block this safety and make the corner have to tackle. Watch him kind of nonchalant. Now he goes for the safety. Huge collision. It forced the corner to have to make that tackle. Great chop right there by Amari Cooper. Jacoby Thomas, he didn't know what hit him.
Clock will run down to the 2-minute timeout. Miami does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And the Hoosiers put it away with a touchdown, win their first championship. Then Miami force a field goal try, give back one more chance. All to play for in the final 2 minutes here of the championship game.
Visit with either a star player or the coach from the winning side. Take you all access inside the victorious locker room. Chris, Harvey, what a final game we've got in the college football season. Still 2 compelling minutes remaining.
Absolutely, Scotty. Hoosiers with that first down. A touchdown just about seals it. The field goal attempts, depending on how much time left, to give Miami hope. Henry is the back. Henry bursting free, bangs throw for 10. They'll spot him just short of the marker. It could work out well for Signetti.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no need to pick that first down up, make Miami use these timeouts. He's going to call them over, going to use their first timeout.
Let's talk about Charlie Becker, who made another back shoulder fade catch there. He's not typical. He was recruited by the previous coach, Tom Allen. So Signetti comes in, and receivers are pretty much told, move on. This is the one guy, although Becker was in the portal, Kirk, Signetti said, no, stay and win. But he had to bide his time, mostly a special teamer. including the first half of this season. Look what he's done. Stayed with it, improved, emerged, and become a key guy in the championship game.
It's a great story and kind of an outlier in 2025, and as we move into 2026. Becker, I lived in Nashville. I went to Father Ryan High School and had a good career. I don't know if anybody would have ever expected him to become this guy in these last 6 or 7 games. Supposed to be a back shoulder fade. Wasn't the best throw we've ever seen from Mendoza, but as long as you put it up in the air and make your receiver have to come back, you can see O'Connor was lost. Even though he studied his scouting report, knew that critical downs, that's the play they go to, still could not be in position to defend it.
Teammates call him Chuck. Just chuck it to Chuck, right? That's
You saw it.
Works.
That was a great call. Maybe that's what they call the homer.
But hoping he gets a chance this final game in the collegiate.
With 2 timeouts, first down pretty much ends the game for Indiana.
Miami unable to prevent a big game in that first down. You're right, that is crucial now. Whistle.
Man, that movement. I think he had movement on the left side by Indiana's offensive line.
Oh my goodness. Team known for its discipline does not make mistakes like that.
He was Carter Smith, 65.
Prior to snap, false starts. Number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Outstanding left tackle.
Oh, yeah.
With a pro future.
Yep. Yeah, you see him on the far left. Just a little, tiny little movement.
First time they've been penalized in the second half, and that moves it back, and suddenly that's a lifeline for Miami's defense.
Yeah, it's huge.
Rangers can still finish the job here, though. MB. No. Not much. Maybe a half a yard. And Cristobal spends another timeout. Ahmad Bowman poked the middle.
Now that interior, the Miami defense often gets overlooked because of Bain and Mesidor on the outside, but they've stepped up on that play.
After the one rewarding performance, Indiana's got big play out of special teams here. This is the block. Mark comes off the edge. Slow developing punt there. Jones falls on it. And this play, which will live forever in Indiana lore, if the Hoosiers hold on and win this. Mendoza took from 2 shots.
Well, I think it's 2 things. It's the play, the effort, but the decision to go for it by Kurt Signetti. I think if they end up winning the game, that's what we're going to remember about this game is critical moment, brought the field goal unit out, brought him back, put Mendoza out there, and you call quarterback draw on 4th and 4.
You remember the decision. I'll remember the run. Okay?
I remember both. No, I love the run. I just applaud him for a gutsy call.
Absolutely. He sensed this was the time to go up 2 scores, and then still Miami fought back.
35, mid-51, you got a timeout. This Miami defense has been a strength in the backbone of this team all year. Can someone step up and make a play right here to keep the Canes' hopes alive?
Black, nothing. He stopped immediately. That was Wesley Brissett and Motore. Those 2 linebackers stepped up. Final timeout taken. Field goal attempt coming up.
Yeah, heck of a job up front by this defensive line, eating up those linemen who would love to be able to climb up and get to those linebackers. But you see 31 and 1, both getting downhill. Both able to stay clean because of the effort by those defensive linemen. So that little flinch by Carter Smith on 2nd 1. They're about to just take an easy first down. The game is over. That flinch moves them back to 2nd and 6, eventually 3rd down, and now 4th down to keep them in the game.
Hoosier fans hoping that's not going to come back to haunt them. You say the championship game, sometimes unusual things happen. That guy is absolutely rock solid. Their best offensive lineman, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, Big Ten offensive lineman of the year.
Just a little flinch. Now Radicic, who made it from 34 earlier, tries to give Indiana a 6-point lead from 35 yards out. Wonder if Signetti thought about it for a second, keeping the offense out there again on 4th down. Field goal knocked right through. So Indiana took 4:50 off the clock, moved it 11 plays, and added 3 to the lead. But Miami and Carson Beck are going to have a chance. The kind of drive he was able to produce against Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. 20 years, All-State celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities, donating to the athletic scholarship fund supporting all student athletes. Thank you, All-State. Field goals won't do it for Miami. Got to find a touchdown.
My first thought, as we just saw that flinch and then the Miami defense make the stops, was Carson Beck. Everything that Carson Beck has been through, you know, he leaves Georgia, he deals with the ulnar nerve surgery, which is a massive ordeal, comes back from that, goes to Miami, falls back in love with the game, fits perfectly into this program, loves his teammates, loves the year he's had, been through a ton of adversity, and now he gets to football. He's over there just hoping for a chance, and he's got it with 1:42, down 6.
The drive against Ole Miss began with some key throws. Put themselves in position. He wanted to throw it in the end zone. Nobody open, ends up running it in from 3 yards out with 18 seconds to go. This drive put Miami into position to play for this championship. Some clutch deliveries, laser throws on 3rd down.
Yeah, he was all over making great decisions, but it came down to this. These 3 receivers went from the left to the right, man coverage. Doesn't take off that often unless it's obvious. He saw it. Here's Ray Lewis. He said that after the Ole Miss game, or after the Ohio State game, he said, Ray Lewis told me, hey, go down there and win it for us. And I think he did it again. Round 2. Hey, man, go have some fun. Go down there and win another one for us. This time it's the Natty.
Sit down.
Facing serious crowd noise in their home stadium. Clock was down at 0.
They got delay.
How about these Hoosier fans traveling to Miami, just like they did in a neutral field in Atlanta, and making this feel like a road game for Miami.
So first down.
Yeah, he wants to reset the play clock, but they were slow in the operation of it, so they start, which is like your worst nightmare when you're in a 2-minute offense with no timeouts. You start with a 5-yard penalty, of all things, to delay a game.
Of all things in your home stadium, because the crowd is too loud. It's crazy. One-man rush, back, pressure, flips it underhanded. They're trying to find it to Bowman, the tight end. Tyreek Tucker had a hold of him there. Got rid of it to avoid the sack.
Yeah, they moved Kamara over the middle of the center. And he brings pressure, creates a one-on-one opportunity where Tucker usually is in the interior himself. He was outside, out wide. So they're moving some guys around with the versatility. There's 6 that I was talking about. And at 95, Tucker almost finishes it. Heads up play by Beck just to kind of flick it forward towards the tight end.
That could have been a disaster there, Miami. Crowd loud again. Tony comes in motion, back looking the other way. He threw it on the seam. C.J. Daniels did not have his head turned. Flags down as they hit back after the throw.
And they hit him hard.
Amari Sharp.
Yep. I think the hit
Personal
was by
foul, roughing the
Landino.
passer, number 97. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's big Mario Landino. That kind of up and staggering.
After he threw this football, he gets hit. Bill, what do you think of that one?
I support the roughing the passer call.
Miami catches a break after it looked like it would be an incompletion after the delay of game. You're looking at 2nd and 15, still in the middle of that Indiana fan base, the loudest part of the stadium. So they catch a break, get it out to the 35.
Beck's got to regroup from that big blow and deliver. Miami still 65 yards from the end zone. Underneath, Marty Brown's got it. Brown breaks a tackle. It's a first down at the 46. Picked up the 11. Clock stops for a moment here.
Again, rushing 3, dropping 8. Everybody is deep. Heck of a job by Beck. Recognize it, just check it down, get that first down yardage, stop the clock.
Back again, nobody open. And fires. High ball, catch made in Indiana territory.
I think
Tony went up high.
Yeah, Tony ends up catching the ball, and Jones, as he hits him, almost secured the ball into his chest as he took it into the ground for the reception.
Back, long pitch to the sideline, catch made by Daniels, spun down inbounds. by Sharp. Again, no timeouts left. Clock stops momentarily as Mendoza can watch on one knee.
Yeah, Beckett has complete control. Hand signals, everybody on the same page, ready to go. Indiana's going to call a timeout.
That clock had started moving, a few seconds ticked off, and Signetti wants to spend his last timeout right here. He had burned a couple earlier. So neither team has a timeout left. How good is this? Back and forth in the second half. And as you said, Carson Beck, both coaches have said this will be a heck of a movie, however it ends. Well, the last 51 seconds of this movie are about to unfold, and somebody's going to have a truly incredible season. The Hoosiers will be 16-0, national champs for the first time, or Miami, who's going to once again win a fourth playoff game and win their first championship in like a quarter century.
Yeah, whoever ends up winning this, it's going to be crazy. Big thing for Indiana. They're going to try to protect the sidelines, keep everything in balance, keep the clock moving. And if you're Carson Beck, remember, 43 starts in his career. He knows exactly where he needs to go with his football. Right now, he's trying to free up Malachi Tony. But remember, last week, it was Keelan Marion, number 0, who stepped up against Ole Miss at critical moments on the backside to make some big plays over the middle of that defense of Ole Miss.
C.J. Daniels is the veteran presence here on the right side, but D'Angelo Pons is across from him. Brown is the back. Beck steps up, delivers downfield, and intercepted! Jamari Sharp makes the pick that will clinch Indiana's first national championship.
How about Jamari Sharp, who's from Miami of Florida, went to Northwestern High School, takes advantage of an underthrown ball, had his eyes on it the whole way. I don't know if Carson Beck was expecting him to maybe stay in the flat.
After the interception, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 22, defense. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. His first down, Indiana.
And just like that, Kirk, the potential Hollywood script ends as he tried to find Marion. He did not have his head turned around. It was Sharp who spotted the football.
Yeah, I think he might see middle field safety, thinking he's got one-on-one right here. So as he throws it, the safety's going to work over here to help out. Now it's a 2-on-1. The corner knows he has help so he can trail. Doesn't feel the urgency to have to stay upfield with Marion. He knows the safety's coming over. Now he locates the football, staying in zone. Indiana's been doing this all year. That's why they're #1 in turnover margin. They play with zone eyes, meaning they watch the quarterback throw the ball so they can react. It's exactly what Sharp did. And as I said, he's from right here. Went to Northwestern High School. Probably a dream of his to make a play like that.
And Kurt Signetti, who's going to deliver with all that swag, all that bravado that he brought to Bloomington and said all things are possible. Why should Indiana football take a back seat? He finds Mendoza. He brings a bunch of guys from JMU. He has a keen eye for talent. And a bunch of experienced veteran guys are going to come out here with the school's first national title.
I think it's been one of the greatest stories we've ever seen in college football. The losingest teams in college football history at the start of the year to now the national champions.
A century of futility is forgotten. The Indiana Hoosiers are the kings of college football. Let's hear from Coach Signetti with Molly McGrath. Molly, if you can hear me.
Coach Signetti, for the first time ever, the Indiana Hoosiers are national champions. What did it take to get here?
It took a lot to get here, but I'll tell you what it took to come out ahead in this game was a lot of guts. I give Miami a lot of credit. They played really hard. We couldn't get anything done on them. Couldn't protect quarterback at all. Made a few plays and adjustments, but they were back shoulders and a sprint out, got the run game going. Made the interception when we had to. A couple fourth down, we went for it. Mendoza, great run. Took some chances, found a way. Let me tell you, we won the national championship at Indiana University. It can be done, and I'm so happy for our fans. Words can't describe it.
You mentioned that 4th and 5 touchdown run from Fernando Mendoza. What gave you the confidence to make that call?
The coverage before they were in the coverage where that play would work. We put it in for this game. It was quarterback draw, but it was blocked differently. And we rolled the dice and said they're going to be in it again, and they were. We blocked it well. He broke a tackle or two and got in the end zone.
What has your quarterback Fernando Mendoza meant to this championship run?
Oh my God, he's so tough. I mean, he got hit. He had no time. He keeps getting back up, and just a great competitor. And there's no way this gets done without that kind of performance at that position. And I can't say enough great things about him.
Finally, how are you going to celebrate, Coach?
I'm gonna have beer.
Enjoy that beer, Coach.
Thank you.
Holly.
Well, Fernando, there was an epic moment in this game. It is the 4th quarter. You're leading by just 3 points, and Coach decides to go for it on 4th down. What did he say to you in that huddle, and how did you execute it?
That's one thing about our team. We're always going to put all on the line. And I want to give all the glory and thanks to God there. My offensive lineman blocked perfectly, and we're able to execute the team towards a common goal, have the Indiana Hoosier synergy to score, and then give our team a chance to win the game.
How did you get it in there, though? You have to go airborne, Fernando.
I had to go airborne, and I'll die for my team. Whatever they need me to do, they need me to take, shots in the front and the back, whatever it is, I'm going to die for my team out there. And I know they're going to do the same for me. That's what makes us so close. That's what makes this national championship so special.
Show my cameraman right there your arm. You can't imagine the beating this young man had to last night.
I mean, shout out to Miami defense. You can see why their 2 athletes are first-round picks. I mean, it was going to be a physical game. And, we had to play physical, and we did play physical. We elevated it, and it's victory so sweet for everybody, for the entire Hoosier Nation, but also, it's super sweet of myself. I was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. I got declined to walk on offer to the University of Miami. Full circle moment here playing in Miami for all the friends and family. I can't thank Coach Kennedy enough, and Coach Whitmer, and Coach Anna for taking a chance on me, and just give all the glory to God.
You've been a little boy sitting in these stands watching people play on this field. How do you describe walking out of here a national champion after all these years?
There's no words. There's no words. This is the most special moment of my life, and I know my teammates here. There's no one else I'd rather do it with.
Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
It would be enough to just win a championship. To come back to Miami and beat the school that did not even offer him as a walk-on. As Denny said a few weeks ago, it's a hell of a movie, Kirk.
It's unbelievable. They're just everything you want to see. Living in the Midwest my whole life, to think that Indiana's in this position, it's almost too good of a story, really. So congrats to the Hoosiers all over the country.
So grateful to bring it to you. Bill Bennell produced the game. Jimmy Platt directed a usual outstanding job from our crew. Operations specialist, Cindy Bennington. Thanks for what she and their entire team have done all season long. We got a lot more to come from here in Miami. Indiana joins the club of national champions, the first new team to do that since the Florida Gators in '96. Much more to break down from Hard Rock Stadium as we join now the Ram Trucks postgame.
Thanks for watching a special presentation of ESPN, home of the college football.
Terry says that will conclude the presentation. Be sure to tune in Saturday for UFC.
Say bye to